And welcome to the super fun, awesome, happy time pedal show. My name is Gabor.
Okay, welcome along. I'm Alex, and we're going to check out the Bibo from Poly Effects.
Bibo? Yes.
So this is the other kind of world of programming from Poly, as there's probably a video you've already seen about the digit up there in the corner. So we're going to check out this one. If you haven't seen it before, we'll give you a brief overview, check out some presets and some sounds, and we'll get into some more detailed videos later down the track.
There'll be probably a few. So yes, and this will be a quick overview.
Before we go to some more sounds, if you hit like and subscribe on the video, give us a thumbs up if you dig it, and also comments and questions below, and hit notification bell too, and we'll let you know when there's more Poly videos.
And if there's anything in particular you want us to do with this in upcoming videos, let us know in the comments below. Okay, so Alex, what's the Bibo?
The Bibo, besides having a really cool name,
Bibo,
it's fun to say. This is kind of, well, it's many things. It's a multi-effects engine.
Well, I think, yes, it kind of like that. Well, to me, that
Digit's more reverb delay focused. This is more
modulation and synth world.
That kind of thing, but also does delays and reverbs and stuff as well.
Yeah.
As well as all that, it's a 4-channel and 4 in 4 out mixer for your signals, and they do that via 2 TRS, which could be 2 dual mono or 2 stereo or any combination of their in and out, and so it'd be mixer. Also, you can do things like amps in and out.
Wet, dry.
IR loading as well.
Well, this side doesn't have IR loading, but
no amp stuff.
Not on the Bibo side. No.
There you go.
So you've got basically same as with the other one. You've got 4 ins on here and MIDI in, and 4 outs and MIDI out.
Yep.
And then you call up all these little, by pressing plus, you go into all the different effects. You can call up effects. Let's call up delay, and then see it appears here, and then you have a delay here. And then you can hook it up. You can actually physically go, I want this delay to go from that delay because there's only one delay. And you connect them, and then you connect that to the output. Or you don't. But anyway, let's not do it now anyway because let's just go with the preset that was there. Anyway, so you can hook up any of these modules in any way, shape you want. There's also MIDI connections in the back. And you technically can use it as a synthesizer.
Like it's tiny little mini jack.
3.5 mil jacks, but it comes with a converter thingy
cables
for normal MIDI DIM cable. So do you want to play? Or do you want me to play?
I'll do a couple.
So we're just looking at a bunch of presets now.
Yeah.
We'll go more in depth down the track at some stage. So this is just the very first preset called BYO Chorus.
And we've got some Plexi amps in just on the UAD platform, just to give us a little bit of colour.
And I should also mention these 3 buttons you can assign to do anything you want. And the last button turns on, if you hold it in for a little bit, it turns on bypass. It's sort of, I don't know if you can really see it, but yeah, you can sort of faintly see it there. And then these knobs control parameters. This is a coarse and this is a fine. We'll get into that later. But let's just look at a few presets. So,
cool.
BYO Chorus.
The chorus.
So
what you doing here?
This is actually a chorus that's been made by having 2 delays. So it's actually not a chorus, it's actual 2 delays, which is kind of what a chorus is. And you've got 2 LFOs controlling, I guess, the delay time, and it sort of just gives very, very little, movement in a delay time.
Which is kind of what an analog chorus is, isn't it?
It pretty much is, yeah.
Varying the delay time.
But the cool thing is you can actually change the wave shape of the LFO. So we went from a sine to this sort of triangle wave, which sounds like that with a triangle.
Or the square wave?
Or square wave.
Oh yeah, sure. So if you make that faster, we'll go choppy? Choppy chorus?
Probably. So with this, you click on tempo, and then here you can raise the tempo. But it's only one side. There's 2 of them.
almost Leslie-ish. Weirdly, like a
Yeah.
broken Leslie.
And that's a coarse and that's a fine
Get it
tune.
out there, you like almost like play off each other.
And because there's two LFOs, the other LFO, see, one's set to this,
Yep.
and the other one's set to that.
Yeah.
So there's
What if you go ramp up?
yes, yeah. Yep, that's yeah.
Byproduct of bad dancing. I mean,
Oh, lots of bad dancing.
Yep.
And then if you wanted to save this, all you would have to do is go save current preset, and you can either overwrite what's there, or you can save it as a new preset. But let's look at more presets. So you click on load a preset, and then this is the list of presets you have. Now, there's tons of modulation stuff. So we've got choruses, we've got, for example, BYO Vibe.
vibing.
And again, it's a delay.
Yeah.
And it's modulating. You've got an LFO modulating a delay. But the other cool thing you can do with this is, this is one of the, by the way, hi Loki, who's the mad genius behind all the stuff. He constantly puts firmware updates into this. And one of the latest ones was actually a pitch to CV or MIDI. So you can play stuff and it looks at the pitch and converts it to CV or MIDI, so you can play synthesizer stuff.
Yeah, cool.
I wonder if this bass synth is one of those. Oh no, it's not. Because there's no input. It's just, okay, stop that for a second. So this, you don't even need to plug anything into it. So technically you can just use it as a for example, a drum machine. So there's one pattern that was in one of the latest.
Get rid of the amp sims.
Oh yeah, get rid of the amp sims. There's in one of the latest firmware updates. There was one. So there's a drum sequencer in there as well. This is called Drum Day. Please don't. And so now with this, you've got a drum sequencer here, and you've got three different oscillators. So this one, for example, now does the kick drum. Well, you can change that. You could, for example, change it to a normal classic waveform. Changes so it stops, but so it's basically just a drum sequencer that you can use, and you can set parameters for everything, and all this stuff is based on the mutable. Is it mutable instruments or mutable devices?
I want to say instruments, but I could be wrong.
We'll put it down here. It's based on their one of their drum sequences. One thing you could do, for example, is, and this is one of my presets. Where is it? The Lounge Lizard. So I put a little clip up. This is going to get loud. But hang on. Oh, once it loads. Once it loads, you can turn it off, but you got to wait for it to load. So this is a preset I made, which has got a drum sequencer in it, with tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff. I might do a video where I kind of go through it if people are interested, what I actually did. But one of the cool things with this is, so this has got pitch detect in it as well. So pitch detect, I don't know if you can sort of see it down there, it's down the bottom there. So it detects what signal comes in, and that actually goes to two different oscillators. It goes to one oscillator which plays kind of chords, but it also goes to the oscillator that creates the sound for the kick drum. So what actually happens is the kick drum becomes almost like the bass line.
Like tuned.
So you can tune it, you can play along with it.
Yeah.
So actually, you can. Do you want to play?
Sure, I'm trying to appreciate it.
The tracking isn't like super awesome. You've got to be relatively, not too fast. Faster than that. But it's not like, you can't do shreddy stuff. And now, so if we, for example, because I think that's that. If we turn that off, right, and turn the drums on, now all you're going to hear is the pitch of the kick drum changing. I put up instead of down because otherwise you can't hear it. But you have the pitch of the kick drum falling, so it's almost like a bass line. So now if you turn that the chords thing on again, it's almost like a full band. So I mean, there's tons you can do, and you can with each oscillator sound you can then modulate it, and you can. There's tons of stuff you can do.
Yep.
So I mean, that's one side of what you can do with the Bibo, right? One of the other things you can do.
If you already know something about synthesis and modular stuff, this will become obviously way more. Make more sense straight away, of course.
This is to me that side is it definitely if you're into modular synth, it'll make complete sense to you.
Yep.
It's like a digital modular synth. But then the other thing you can also do, if we turn the amp sims on again.
Sure.
So this is, for example, I called it Space and Time. Although you can have it with or without. Really, it's clean sounds, whatever you prefer.
Let's try.
Go without.
And then we'll turn really clean to start with.
So Space and Time is basically it's another patch I made up.
Oh.
It's a delay that goes into so the way it works, you've got the in, right? One in goes into a thing called warmth, which is like it's tube saturation, and that goes directly out, so you have just a straight clean sound. But then another thing goes to a delay, which also goes into a reverb, and the third one goes into a reverb, which is on fully wet, which then goes into a rotary, and you can speed it up and slow it down with this. So it becomes this sort of weird rotating reverb. So not necessarily a rotary sound, but just rotary reverb.
Modulating reverb.
Modulated reverb.
Sort of thing.
Which sounds like this. So I assigned this button to be the speed up, slow down of the rotary, and
cool.
You can't really hear that it's a rotary, but you can hear the reverb kind of modulates.
Yeah,
it's this massive reverb sound. Let's try it with the amp sims.
It's not chorusing; it's a different thing. Hey?
No, it's doing its own thing.
Yeah, it's with some plexi.
See, the idea with that was I wanted something you play these sort of long kind of dissonant chords, and it just kind of goes on forever.
Pretty.
So that's this is just another preset that I quickly made up, but there's tons of cool presets on there.
I don't have one here, but if I had a volume pedal, that'd be cool for swelly.
Oh yeah, swelly.
Swelly.
There's, for example, this is Harmonic Tremolo, just for some other modulate. So the Bibo for me is the modular world and modulation stuff. That's sort of what the Bibo does. Alright, so I'm playing my Parts Master Caster Blaster. There's a video to that there. Martin A. Smith pickups. And let's try this preset called Moving Pitches.
Yeah, there's some delays, choruses, and a flange going on.
Is that on? Yeah, that's on. And definitely listen to this with headphones on, good headphones or good speakers, because there's some killer stereo image stuff.
Might have made that one weird. Twist patterns.
Okay. Okay, so this is actually the drum sequencer. You use the drum sequencer to actually to modulate the delay.
Cool.
So the drum sequencer modulates the delay with the foot switch A. So it's like a drum pattern, but that modulates the...
It's cool. It's almost like a slice of it delayed version.
Yeah. So this is when you go into the drum pattern thing. So you've got your bass drum, your hi-hat, you've got the density, how many hits there are.
Yep.
And you have also a thing called chaos, which gives you randomization of things. And then you've got a swing, and you've got a few different things.
Cool.
I think because run button means on or off. So the right to be on. It's only 1 or 0. So there you've got an envelope follower, so it Let's go with it. The amps are on.
Yeah, cool. It's a fun sound.
So there's a bit crusher on one side, and you've got the envelope follower on the other side. The envelope follower controls something with the drum. Oh no, they both control that low pass filter. Not quite sure what it does, but it does.
Yeah.
Do one more.
That's fun.
Do one more.
What else we got going on? Mirage.
That's a drum sequencer again. Go with something like pattern trem or something like that. Permanent waves or pattern trem.
Pattern trem.
So again, you've got the switch control turns on the drum pattern sequencer, which then there's an ADSR, which is attack, decay, sustain, and release. Yeah. And that goes into a difference thing, whatever that is, and then a VCA, so that controls the amplitude. So the drum pattern thing controls the amplitude. Run button, if you turn it off, that means it turns it off.
That's where it was.
Oh, it did. Yeah. Okay.
So you have to change our waveform, like ramp up and ramp down?
I mean, that's that. And there's tons of other stuff in it. But I mean, in a nutshell, it's a modulation thing, but then you also have drum sequencing in it. You've got pitch to MIDI conversion. We'll get more into MIDI stuff, and you can even plug in a keyboard and play it like a keyboard. So that's,
That's pretty cool.
So that's a Poly Digit. Big thank you to... Oh, not Digit. That's a Poly Beebo. Big thank you to Loki at Poly Effects for sending this out. And what else should people do while they're thanking Loki at Poly Effects?
Just send him a bottle of wine. Do that for a start. And also, there's links below to our Instagram, our Facebook, and Facebook group chat. And we share those. Also, there's a if you do have one of these, there's also a Facebook group, a user group, and also our podcast too. You check that out.
And we must likely be talking about this very thing.
We chat about other stuff and get some guests on, hang out and talk about gear and music. And like we said, if you comments, questions below, if you want us to check out anything in particular.
In particular, any of the modules on there or any of the sounds on there, let us know.
And we'll get some more detailed videos coming up soon. Thanks for hanging. See you soon. Bye.